Whether it's over the holidays or any time of the year when I'm entertaining and serving a little bit heavier meal, I like to include at least one recipe that's a little lighter, a little refreshing, to sort of cleanse the palate, give it a break before moving on to dessert. And the ingredients in this recipe, including oranges and fennel, are just what I'm looking for. Now, fennel may be the one ingredient that you're a little bit less familiar with. This is a very crunchy vegetable like celery. It can be cooked, but we're using it raw here today too. And it has an anise-like flavor. Some people describe it as licorice-like, but very mild licorice flavor. Don't confuse that though, anise or fennel, the vegetable, with these little brown pods. This is called star anise, and this also has a similar flavor, but they come from two different plants. This is a seasoning, and this is fennel, or some people call it anise, the vegetable. Now you're looking for firm white bulbs with no or very little discoloration or brown spots on the outside. If the outermost layer is a little bruised or split, you can easily remove it, but the rest is completely usable. This recipe calls for 1 fennel bulb. This is the bulb portion here. So what we want to do to get this ready to prep it is just to cut off where these stems meet the bulb, even like this. Now if you make your own homemade stocks, which I sometimes do, I'll save these just to flavor the stock. And also this part here is called the fronds. It's almost a little bit like dill. You can use it as seasoning if you want, but we don't need it for this recipe, so let's just set that aside. Now, this recipe calls for very, very thin slices. I'm going to use a mandolin to make the job easier. A mandolin, this one particularly, has these little settings so you can adjust it as thick as you like it. Make sure though, when you put the fennel inside here, you use the guard. Don't try to do it with your hands. You don't want to grate your knuckles here. And all you do is slice it like this into very fine pieces. By the way, the mandolin slicer that I'm using today is made by OXO, and you can find this in our stores. This recipe calls for the zest of 1 orange. So to do that, I'm going to take this microplane, which by the way is my favorite kitchen tool. I can't live without this. I use it to grate cheese and lots of other things. Anyhow, so that's just the bright orange part on the outside of the orange, like this. And as you see, that's really easy. This has already been done, so I'm going to just set that aside for now. And now for the next step, after you've zested 1 orange, this is what you're left with. And this light part underneath is called the pith, and it's very bitter. You don't want this in your recipes. So first thing you want to do, an easy way to cut it out or off, is to slice off both sides. You have a nice base or surface to work with, and then cutting around the perimeter of the orange, just remove the pith like this. And you may be cutting off a little bit more than you need to, but at least you're sure that it's all gone at that point. Alrighty, and now you can actually see between the sections right here, the membranes between the sections. So starting on one side of a membrane, I'm going to cut down like this, and then the other side, and out come the sections. After the sections are removed from all 4 oranges, you want to take what's left and squeeze right over the oranges, all the juice from there. There's a lot of juice still in there, so you don't want to let that go to waste. That's actually going to become part of the dressing that you're going to use. All right, next to this, we're going to add our 1 bulb of thinly sliced fennel. And then we have a 1/4 cup of red onion, again sliced very, very finely, and you can do this in the mandolin as well. And we're going to drizzle in 1 tablespoon of Sicilian lemon extra virgin olive oil, the zest from the 1 orange, and season that with some salt and pepper. After you've given this a gentle toss, just to coat all of the ingredients, this is going to go in the refrigerator for about 1 hour to let all those flavors blend and marinate together. Now I've removed the orange mixture to another bowl, and I'm reserving the juices here. Now to the juices, I'm going to add 2 packages of Wegmans Food You Feel Good About baby spinach and arugula blend. All right, in goes the other one, and then I like to use a pair of tongs. I find it easier to do that. I'm just going to toss the salad in the dressing using my tongs, and then transfer some of those greens to my salad plate to serve, and to that add some of the orange and fennel mixture right on top like this. Now this recipe was designed to serve 8 for a holiday celebration, but you can easily serve it anytime, cut the recipe down in half to serve 4 or even less, so it's very easy to do.